I ran away from my abusive home as a teenager. I worked for years to turn my life around and finally bought a house. When I did, my family returned, demanding I hand over my home to them because family comes first. My parents are currently forcing me to pay them $2,000 a month to park my car beside their house. They know I'm going to go homeless if I can't park here, so they're deliberately draining every cent I have and are actively trying to make me homeless. As far as why my own parents are doing this to me, the reason is very simple, but simultaneously very disgusting. It's the exact reason they've already used to ruin my life before, and it makes my blood boil. At least it used to. Because no longer am I the naive and sad kid who believed that if he tried just hard enough, maybe, just maybe, his parents would actually love him. You see, my parents are monsters, and to understand why I will dance on their graves the second they drop dead, we need to go back to when I was a kid. I have a brother 5 years younger than me, and there's no better example of our relationship than when he got a skateboard for his 8th birthday. He claimed he wanted one, but quit after only using it once. I then became interested in skateboarding a few months later, but he decided to give skateboarding another shot, conveniently only when I wanted to ride it. He never did end up practicing, and would literally take it outside just to walk around with it in his hand for an hour. My parents were fully on his side, saying that him wanting to use it at the same time as me was not ill will on his part, but just coincidence. That one example perfectly illustrates my childhood. In fact, my parents' favoritism was so bad, my extended family members got involved by accident. My grandmother noticed my bruises and my ragged clothes whenever I came to visit her, all whilst my brother wore designer by 10 and had not a scratch on him. My grandmother was badass, and I remember she slapped my dad because of his favoritism, warning him that she'd whip them into shape herself if he didn't cut it out. Things were better after that, until 3 months later when my dad conveniently got a job opportunity he couldn't pass up, halfway across the country. When that happened, I started lashing out. I began yelling at my parents that I hated them, that I wished they and my brother were dead. My mom slapped me and told me to apologize to him for speaking about him like that. I was furious, and later that same day, I did the thing that started this whole mess. My brother was on the phone with Grandma, lying through his teeth about how I, yes me, was doing so better, and I just started yelling, "Grandma, he's lying, don't listen to him please, they're still hitting." Click. My brother hung up the phone and went to tell my parents. He lied, and even told them I tried to wrestle the phone out of his hand. That night, my mom and dad laid hands on me like never before. I was used to a bruise here or there, but this time it was different to anything I've experienced. Blow after blow after blow, even after I passed out. I'm positive they thought they culled me. I think they panicked, but instead of calling the ambulance, they put me in the bathtub and left me there hoping I'd wake up. I was 17 at the time. I miraculously woke up that night in the bathtub full of cold water, and in that moment, I made the hardest decision of my life. I packed all my things and left. I had no plan, no money, and no food, but I was still certain being homeless would be better than living with my parents and my brother. And the crazy part is that I was right, until I wasn't. Because even though I lived on the streets for the first few years, committing petty theft to get food and blankets, I eventually found a job and busted my butt to build a life for myself. I found my own place, got therapy, and I truly believe I overcame all my PTSD and trauma. And that was when the universe decided to